He just beats himself. He just continued to talk to us, continue to motivate us. He encourages us to just go out there and just do our best every single play. Even if we have a bad play or a tough play, just get over the next play, go 1-0 like he always says, and just continue to dominate throughout the game. He always stays himself. So
I'll have more in moments.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered on Saturday for Alabama football against South Florida. Our radio coverage on the network will start at 3 p.m., and you can join the pregame show live at Vector Security Champions Lane outside Bryant-Denny Stadium. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m., and you can listen to the game, of course, across the radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as watch the Booth Cam, streaming live on all CTSN social media platforms. The Booth Cam presented by Yay Alabama. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And there you go. There you have it. We are back. We are live. And we are brand new. And we are live this morning.
From Scott's favorite place.
Oh, I've been waiting for this place all week. I've been waiting for this all week. Last night at home, fired up the big green egg, threw some steaks on the big green egg last night. Had a beautiful dinner last night with my wife. Beautiful dinner. But right in the middle of it, I said, you know what? I get to go to Metro Diner tomorrow morning and have breakfast. No, she didn't get mad. Okay. But if she looked at me and she was like, are you serious? She goes, you're having a dinner. And she goes, you're thinking about breakfast?
About the next food already. That's
I said, yes, I'm already thinking about my breakfast.
You just cooked a good meal, but you're already thinking about the next one.
Yes.
Without even finishing your other one.
Without even finishing the other one. I was eagerly anticipating it, but we are live from Metro Diner here on Highway 72 in Madison. Their doors are just open. Remember, they open at 7 a.m. now.
Yeah.
And so you can get on out here, grab yourself some breakfast. And today is Friday, so it is another Metro Diner Pick'em contest day. I know we have not had a chance to go over last week's winner, and I will here in a second. I've got the papers for last week, and we will go over it. Here's how it works. We have an SEC game on tap. Drew and I will pick a score. You pick either Drew's score or my score. And without going over, it's kind of like the Price is Right Final Case Showdown. As long as we don't go over that score, if you pick that score, then you qualify to win. We've got a winner from last week. Everybody that gets it right will go into a drawing, and then you will be eligible for the Metro Diner Breakfast Bonanza. And that is where
we have multiple winners each week.
Yeah, we'll have multiple winners, and everybody that wins will go into the drawing.
Yeah.
But one of you guys from the week will win a $25 gift certificate. And if you are listening, let's see here. If you are listening, Jared from last week, Jared, you do win the gift certificate. So you can call into Bailey, and Bailey will get your information on where to send your gift certificate to Metro Diner. We'll get you there. But this week's game is Cal and Auburn.
Uh-oh.
That is this week's game on the Metro Diner Pick'em contest as Cal stops at Auburn inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. That is this week's game on the Metro Diner Pick'em contest.
Yes, it is. So that's a huge contest for Auburn. And I like Auburn by double digits. We haven't made our picks yet or anything like that. No,
we've not. So what is your pick? So people can call in and
yeah, I believe Auburn is there. Are they still a 13-point favorite? I know when early in the week we talked to Jason Caldwell on Tuesday, because remember our week's been all screwed up because of the Labor Day. But yeah, we talked to Jason and previewed that Auburn Cal game. We talked to Travis Ryer about it yesterday. Ryer on YouTube now. We understand that
13 points for Auburn. There, a 13-point spread.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna lay the points there. I'm gonna say Auburn 38 and Cal 17. So 38-17 is going to be my pick. Cal, I think, will score some points, but they're not going to score near enough. And I've got Auburn, winning that game by 3 touchdowns.
I'm going to say 31-10.
So you're the same.
I'm going to say 31-10 is the score. So this week, that is it. So here's how it works. Call in 256-576-4977. You can join us, and either you take Drew's score or you take my score. And whoever gets it the closest without going over, you will win that 25. You'll be eligible to win a $25 gift certificate, and then your name goes into the drawing. So this week, we've already qualified Gator Guffey, Sean, Jared, Bryce, Cliff, and Mark. They have all qualified for the Metro Diner Breakfast Bonanza. Okay. They've all qualified for it already. From last week. Yep. Those names are already in the drawing for the dinner. And what that is the week of the Iron Bowl, we will come here to do our show.
That's right.
We will bring 2 of you with us. You will be on the show for the Iron Bowl preview, and then you get to experience the Metro Diner breakfast that we all partake in. So that is it. So.
And then there'll be is there going to be a winner between those two, or do we have 2 grand champion winners?
Oh, well, yeah, we have two winners will come with us. We will bring 2 people.
I didn't know if there was also going to still be a final drawing. That's what I was trying to figure out.
No, we'll bring 2 people with us.
Yeah.
There.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yep.
We'll need more headsets. I got one.
Oh, I think we can.
Yeah,
we can definitely handle the headset portion. Yeah. I know Mark from Spring Hill is holding it, and Mark did send me an email last night, or he sent me a note from Leonard's Losers.
Yeah, he did. He recorded it. Yeah.
Yep. And I do need to see if I can pull that up here. It would be on me if. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I found it actually. I tell you what time is it? It is 7:06. Let's go ahead and see if I want to see if I can download this here into my system. It's downloading, so we'll go. Let's go to the phone lines real fast. Let's bring in Mark from Spring Hill here real fast on Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And I know, and Mark, we introduce you as Mark from Spring Hill because that's what it's told. But should we be calling you Doctor?
No. I do have a doctorate degree at Stanford, but no. But it's an honor to be on the show, and I hope you guys can download that. I'm gonna go with Drew this week because Leonard Loser is gonna go with Drew.
Okay.
So on that end, and I hope you guys can pull it up. I do that. I kind of think about Nick Saban, about adding value to other people, and that's what I try to do every day. And I know that's what this show does for me, And so I appreciate that. And really, the only thing I wanted to add was I think Auburn, and me being a big Bama fan, I think they're for real this year. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I can see them winning 9 games or 8. And I think that would be a huge improvement for them. So I like them beating California pretty good. And so I will hang up and listen and see if winner loser plays. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Appreciate you sending it.
I do have it. So here it is real fast.
Here goes Mark from Spring Hill, a.k.a. Percy.
That sound means it's time for another edition of Leonard's Losers here on 97.7 FM, your only sports radio network in North Alabama. Let's now go live to Leonard's Loser, already in progress. Hello, sports fans, and thank you for another week of Leonard's Losers. I got my smart little pill. I got Percy Peabody here, and so let's get going with this week's losers. Texas versus Michigan. Now, the Longhorns will travel up to the Big House to take on the Wolverines in what ought to be, well, a Dandybrook. Texas has got a strong offense, and Michigan's got a strong defense. Something's got to give in the big house. Now, I called Coach Stallings, and he told me a defense will always beat a good offense. Then I talked to Percy, and, well, after listening to both of them, hell, I was confused more than when I started. So let me just go with Las Vegas, and let's go with those horns to cover. Leonard's loser, Michigan. South Florida travels to Tuscaloosa. Now, Alabama will be celebrating the naming of the field, Coach Saban Field, on Saturday afternoon, and then the Tide will take the field to take on the Bulls. Now, the Bulls have been doing a lot of talking, as they believe they can come in and upset Alabama after last year's performance. But, folks, this is not the same Alabama team, and the quarterback that quarterbacked Alabama last year, well, he's playing some other sport in some other state at some other university. The quarterback this year is Milroe. And, folks, he can flat out run and he can throw the ball, and they can score early and often. Leonard's loser in a blowout, South Florida. Our final pick tonight, well, it's going to be the Cal Golden Bears travel to the loveliest village in the plains and take on the Auburn Tigers. Last year, Cal lost a close game 14-10, and I'll tell you one thing about a Golden Bear is they remember everything. So expect this game to be close. But the Golden Bears, well, they're going to come up short, just a little short again this year, as Auburn wins on a last-second field goal to take the Tigers to 2-0 for the first time since the Gus bus was parked, well, in Jordan-Hare. Leonard's loser, Cal. Now, until next week when we have more losers, get us out of here, Percy.
Well, and Mark, for he sort of had a selective memory there. He picked Cal, but Auburn, but only by a field goal.
Right.
We both picked, Auburn to cover.
Yeah, I think they will.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, he actually is taking a close game, and we'll see if he's right. He thinks the Cal Bears are going to give Auburn all they want inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium. I particularly don't. I don't know that this Cal team is. Much better than last year, and I do think Auburn is. I think Auburn has improved, especially offensively. Now, Justin Wilcox, their head coach, is a defensive guy, and last year had a good plan, and then basically dared, Peyton Thorne to throw the football, and Auburn had trouble, and Auburn turned it over, and that's why it was close. But Auburn found a way to win it. Now, if Cal can turn them over again, then maybe potentially they can stay in it until late in the fourth quarter. But if they don't, if Auburn takes care of the ball, I just think Auburn's going to be tough to deal with.
All right, 256-576-4977. If you want to jump in on the Metro Diner Pick'em contest, all you got to do is call in, either take Drew's score or my score for the Auburn Cal game, and you can get entered to win a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. You can use that on Highway 72 in Madison, or you can use it on Airport Road. We'd love for you to come out here to the one on 72 and visit our good friend Jonathan and company. I tell you what, we walk in now, and it's, man, they even know what we have to drink and everything. We're pretty good. In case you were not paying attention last night, the NFL season did get underway. Kansas City and Baltimore.
I tried to stay awake, man. It was hard.
Kansas City would lead 13-10 at the half.
Yep.
They go on to get a 27-20 win last night over the Baltimore. Ooh, it was close.
Man, on the back of the end zone.
Now, tonight, the NFL season does continue.
Yeah.
You're going to get the Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers, in Corinthians Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Is that where it's at?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I'm glad you came up with it, because I was like, what the hell are you saying? This isn't I thought you were talking about a soccer game. I'm like, what the hell? I'm used to them going to Germany and you know and overseas and stuff and England and all that.
7:15 tonight on the
Brazil.
Yeah, 7:15
what
tonight.
What time is it in Brazil at that time? I mean,
that's a good question. Ask Google. I don't know.
Lord.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts last year. Remember, 15 rushing touchdowns. Philadelphia looked good early in the season. They looked bad late in the season. A lot of off-season turbulence there in Philadelphia.
The first 9-10 weeks.
Yep. A lot of off-season turbulence there in the city of brotherly love. Not a lot of brotherly love, according to media reports, between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. We'll see if all that can work itself out.
It's 9 o'clock in Brazil right now, Scott.
It's 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.?
9 a.m., man.
9 a.m. Yeah. So add a few hours to that. I don't know. So if it's only 9 a.m., is that a 2 hour? That's
a 2 hour difference. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's saying.
All right.
I'm just using Google here.
Jalen Hurts, by the way, has 41 career rushing touchdowns as a quarterback.
Yeah.
That puts him too shy of Steve Young's mark of 43. That's third best all time in the NFL history among quarterbacks.
Right, because the others would probably be Cam Newton and Randall Cunningham, maybe?
No. Cam Newton does lead the way with 75.
I thought Cam led.
You ready for this one? Josh Allen with 53.
Oh, okay. So Randall didn't have as many as I anticipated.
No. So Cam Newton has the record for quarterback rushing touchdowns at 75. Josh Allen with 53. Steve Young, 43. Jalen Hurts, 41. So those are your top four in the NFL history.
Nice.
So that game will be tonight there. So there you go. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts.
It's a heck of a matchup.
Love and Hurts.
I mean, hey, don't forget Josh Jacobs is now the featured back for the Packers, not Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is in Minnesota, so some different, new faces in different places. So that's what makes it interesting. And Scott just educating me on Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Now,
Brazil.
I can say Amaliava. I just can't say Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Welcome to Brazil.
Oh,
see, there you go. Carnival.
Scott's done so much soccer. He's just rolling off his tongue.
No, Brazil.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. That is one that to me just, I don't know. It's fun to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where the NFL game will take place tonight. All right, let's get our first break in. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. We'll flip the script. We'll get you ready for some SEC football and high school football. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We've got a lot of stuff to get to. Talking Ball returns, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I reckon Decatur now 24-24. Sounds like that one came in with possible injuries, but they just canceled EMS on it. Everything else seems to be in good shape this morning. You be careful on your ride in. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. You can make it safer for them. Slow down or move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find him online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back into the show. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. Oh, boy, the bacon smells so good. The French toast, the pancakes, the omelets, the eggs. And what did we were hoping for?
I was talking about pumpkin spice stuff.
Yeah, it looks like they still have the lemon blueberry griddle, which is your choice of a short stack of pancakes or a Belgian waffle.
Yeah.
Infused with lemon and blueberries, drizzled with cream cheese icing and powdered sugar.
So
I'm surprised they don't have the pumpkin spice out yet.
Well,
everybody else does.
Look, it's
time. I mean, hell, Christmas decorations are out in some places.
Here we go.
I mean, why? I mean, Sam's Club and Walmart, they've got Christmas stuff out. Why? I mean, why? I thought when the calendar turned to September, pumpkin spice was a ritual. I thought you had to have it.
Well, the weather does feel a little bit better here today so far. I mean, it feels like, fall weather. It doesn't feel like the summer, which is nice. So,
all right, 256-576-4977. Let's go out to the phone lines. Jeff from the Borough is with us. Good morning, Jeff.
Morning.
I thought pumpkin spice was the same for October, but maybe not. I don't care for myself. But.
I don't either, but anymore it seems like once the calendar hits September, I mean, everybody seems to have it out somewhere.
Yeah, well, I know it seems like about June or July, the Halloween stuff comes out, and then about August or whatever, the Christmas stuff comes out.
Yep.
So it's really crazy. But now I was going to say, is the game in Brazil? Would that be that is tonight, right?
That is tonight, 7:15.
Would it be broadcast with subtitles in Portuguese, or do we have to? Would it be that way? I think it's ridiculous. I think it's kind of like the game in Ireland. I know they want to expand football everywhere, but I mean, come on. I mean, I know we're sold out over that college game, but I mean, once a year, I just think it's. If I was the NFL franchise, I wouldn't be giving up my home games to play a game like that. I wouldn't do it. I'm sure they force them to do it. I'm sure something they're forced to do, or they might be paid so much for their home games. But if I was the owner, I would just freely give up a home game to be flying over Brazil or whatever country it is to play. I just think international. That's my opinion. I'm sure y'all like the international games. I'm sure y'all like to watch them. But
and here's the thing. I mean, they when they fly over to London or Germany and play, a lot of these NFL teams and players, they will fly over their families. They will let their families go over. But here's the thing about the Brazil game, though. The NFL has advised the players not to leave the hotels because it's not safe for them to be walking around the streets. So they're not even they're advising against. The whole thing about this is to let them experience a lot of things in the cultures, but they're not even letting them go out there and do that in Brazil. They just want them to stay in the hotels.
Yeah. So they can stay in the hotel so that they don't think they're safe around the street. So they'll be safe going to the football stadium playing the games. Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that really makes a lot of sense. If somebody carrying some some weapon might try to do something to him to stay. That makes a whole lot of sense. But don't go to the hotel now. Don't go out on the streets. But when it's time to play now, you can go to that football stadium. Did they build one for the game? Or I know Brazil's got soccer. They have soccer stadiums. Of course, they're lined for soccer. I'm sure you can find a soccer and football stadium. I mean, they say the CFL, which is 110 yards and 25-yard end zone stuff and all that stuff. It ain't like that. But I mean, to me, it just makes. I mean, I would never give up. I know their products. I know they force you to do it probably, and families and all this stuff. But I mean, to me, it's too much money making on a home game to say, well, I'm going to go to Brazil or Ghana or Botswana to play some football game. It's just, I mean, to me, it's ridiculous for the college to do it. I mean, American football is not no worldwide game. I know while people think it is, it's ridiculous. It's not worldwide. I mean, I know people think it is, but it ain't. I mean, basketball or even baseball is worldwide. Basketball is worldwide. There's 3-on-3, 5-on-5. It's all over the place. Football will never be a worldwide game. And while they think it's going to be, there's never going to be no teams off NFL Europe or a team in whatever. If they do, they'll lose so much money that they'll be out of business in about 3-4 years. But y'all have a good weekend.
All right, thanks, Jeff. All right,
I have some bourbon in my Coke.
He was rambling. Let's go to Brandon real fast. Good morning, Brandon.
More Brandon. Morning.
I'm going to go with Drew's pick on this one.
He's going with the higher score.
He's going with the higher score.
Yeah, Scott's got 31. I've got 38. We're actually in the same ballpark. But
even though Scott and I are kindred spirits, Sunday night after barbecuing all day, we sat down in front of the TV, and the LSU choker game had not ready to come on yet. So I turned it on Barbecue Brawl, and my wife looks at me and says, "Really?" She's like, "We barbecued all day, and then we're going to sit here and watch Barbecue Brawl." And I said, "Rodney Scott, come on now."
Yeah, Rodney Scott. I mean,
I'm not impressed.
I mean, Dr. Barbecue got eliminated not even about halfway through.
He's like, "You watch more food shows while eating food." I said, "Well, they're doing chicken on a stick, and we're eating Boston Butt." I was like, "It's totally different." I was like, "They're doing fair food." I was like,
see, I love watching cooking shows. I love watching some of those cooking shows.
I mean, it's natural to eat while you're watching a cooking show because it makes you hungry.
It does. So, I think subconsciously.
It does. No question.
Well, I don't know who got 5 points, but whoever shattered all them plates in the background a minute ago, I heard that clear across the house. I was waiting on Stone Cold to pop out of the speaker. So
yeah, I don't know who did that. We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
I don't want to say our good friend Jonathan did it, but no, he's maybe the only one back there.
Maybe somebody's Greek back there. I don't know.
And before I wanted to say something yesterday, and I forgot to say this.
Yeah.
Ricky Aspinwall, he graduated Rome High School. I believe it was class of 2004. He stared a gunman in the face at Appalachia High School the other day and gave his life. And I'd just like to say hats off to him for when it mattered the most. He was not afraid. Good dude. A lot of people around here knew him, and he will be missed.
Yes, that is a tragedy. Thank you for the phone call, Brandon. Yes, our thoughts and prayers to everyone involved in that shooting. Just a horrific news. Let's go out to Sean. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to take Drew's score as well. I think it's actually going to be a little higher than that. But
that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Drew.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Jeff said if he was the owner of NFL, that dude don't even own a football probably. He's much less a football franchise because he's too stupid.
I wasn't really focusing on when he starts going off on these tangents about.
It was a tangent. I just got lost. My mind was kind of like
when he starts talking about European football and
it's kind of like driving down the interstate or whatever, and it's just exit after exit after exit, and you're just kind of like mind is just kind of like numb.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. He has to be one of the most miserable people in the world. I've never had him call in here and say something positive about anybody or any program or any sport. It's always negative, griping, complaining. Nobody does it his way.
Well, it's interesting because but every once in a blue moon, he'll keep the show flowing. But a lot of times he just takes it off into the, you're trying to keep it between the ditches. And then he's just like, then I need bourbon in my Coke.
Yeah, Yeah, I remember when he first started calling. When the first I don't know, month or so that he was calling, I enjoyed listening to him. Then he just fell off the deep end.
All right, Sean. Thanks for the phone call, bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your pick here.
Let's get in B Rich real fast. Good morning, B Rich.
How you doing?
Hey, fellas. Let me get Drew's score and ride with that. And one other thing. Bama fans, get your butt to Bryant-Denny. I see way too many people trying to sell their tickets this weekend. They're dedicating the field to the man that gave us the best 17-year run in school history. So, Bama Nation, fill that place up. Show that man all the gratitude you got in your body.
I would agree with that, B. Rich.
Yeah.
I would agree
Thanks,
with you
B-Rich.
there because, I mean, I know a lot of people focus on the opponent. And again, we understand that last year this game was ugly. But the biggest thing you should be focusing on is 2:30. They're going to, officially unveil the signage for Saban Field. And then at halftime, they're going to honor him. So to me, I think if you can, I had someone messaging me yesterday, should I try to go to the game? And because he had gone last week, and I said, well, yeah, this is a special occasion.
Right.
And don't forget, they won't be home again till the end of the month.
Right, and it's not like
Wisconsin road trip, bye week, and then Georgia.
And it's not like you could have planned this last year. It's not like you could sit there and say, well, you know what?
Knew it was happening.
No one knew it was happening. And so you look at the calendar and you're like, well, the season opening game, let Kalen DeBoer have his moment.
2 months ago that this was happening.
Yeah.
So it's not like they even said 2 weeks ago, oh, by the way, we're doing this. We're honoring Nick Saban. No.
Right.
I mean, people have had plenty of time to, decide to come to this game. And I know there's a lot of people selling their Western Kentucky tickets, surprisingly, because of Kalen DeBoer's first game. But, again, focus on – last week was on Coach DeBoer, his debut.
Yes.
DeBoer,
you didn't want to do it.
DeBoer. And then –
yeah, you couldn't do this field then because that would have really taken away from everything.
And now
of
this
all
week
that.
it's on Nick Saban.
Yes.
Okay. Who
Smart
wasn't on
move.
Hey Coach this week.
Oh, yeah.
All
right. Well, I tell you what.
But he's on everyone's mind, which he should be.
He should be. All right. We got a message in here. If I can make a pick on here, he's going to take Samuel Rhodes. Samuel Rhodes is taking your score as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's okay. Hey, look.
Thanks, Samuel.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why
you can message in.
We've got 5 picks, all of them for your score.
Yeah, everybody thinks Auburn's going to score a lot of points, so we'll see.
So
except for Mark from Spring Hill now. We listened to his stuff. He picked Cal.
He did. Well, he said Auburn. Yeah.
And
if Auburn scores less than 31, he would be, but he went with your score though over the main. He thinks they're going to score more than 38.
What am I listening to?
If they score 30 points,
go with what he said on the air though, not what he recorded, what he said live.
And that's what he went with your score.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if Leonard's Losers is supposed to change his mind though after recording something.
He may have recorded Leonard Losers I don't know when he recorded it.
I don't either.
All right, but here's what I do know. Louis LeBlanc is on the other end of the break, and he's going to join us because
what a win last week.
Yeah, they got to back it up, though. Yeah. We talked all week long about all these college coaches that, you go and you get a big win, and then you've got to back it up this week. You got to back it up. They got St. John Paul II this week. Westminster Christian Academy, Louis LeBlanc will join us on the flip side, live from Metro Diner coming up.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly to mostly cloudy sky through a good majority of the afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. Maybe a rogue shower across the Tennessee Valley, but just like the last several days, most of us are probably going to end up staying dry. We drop into the mid-60s as we head into the overnight. The weekend looks absolutely fantastic. We're talking about a mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures only climbing into the low 80s. No rain. Oh, and by the way, it's not going to be humid. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a couple of wrecks on the board now. One in Hartselle, 36 eastbound at Puckett Road. The other one's at 24 at Old 24 in Decatur. Sounds like both of those are going to turn out to be no injury. The 8th annual Bernard Blues and Barbecue Fest is coming this weekend next to Ave Maria Grotto at St. Bernard in Coleman. Arts and crafts, live music, great barbecue, a KC cook-off, and a $10,000 giveaway. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome in. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. You can get in on the Metro Diner Pick'em contest here in about 15 minutes. You'll be able to get in. And again, we're picking the Auburn-Cal game this week. All you got to do is either take Drew's score or my score without going over. Whoever gets it the closest without going over. All of the names will be entered in a drawing for a weekly $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. But then everybody's name that wins will go into the grand prize drawing, which is breakfast. We're going to pick two names out, and you're going to come with us to the Iron Bowl week breakfast here at Metro Diner, the Breakfast Bonanza. But we got high school football coming your way tonight. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone is your home for 6 games tonight. We've got all kinds of action. And one of those you're going to be able to hear on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone 5, the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats. They are on the road for the second straight week. They're going to try backing up last week's ginormous road win. I say ginormous because, number one, it was the first region game, and number two, it's a road win, a road region win, which it doesn't care what region you're in, doesn't care who you're playing. Road region games, to win one on the road is special enough, but to go and win one at Plainview,
tough place
is even better.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get blitzed in the first quarter, and it's a high scoring first quarter, 19-10, but 19 points, 3 scores from Plainview in quarter one. They have a 26-16 halftime lead, and then your defense locks down. You hold the Bears, at their home, on their home field to 7 points in the second half, and you score with 28 seconds to go to win 37-33. I know I heard Louis LeBlanc call in to our Woody Anderson Ford High School football scoreboard show, powered by the Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. Bing, bing. So, and he was very excited, out of breath a little bit. You couldn't blame him, but what a win for the Westminster Wildcats, and they are now 1-0 in the region, and they're going on the road to Discovery Middle School to play JP2, a big rival tonight, and try to keep this rolling. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How about you guys?
Well,
doing
Coach,
real good.
I mean, when you have a win like that, it's so it's so dramatic, and I know you were so proud of your kids. How did that carry over to the practice field? Because I know winning breeds a lot of enthusiasm, and your program is used to winning. You're the defending 4A Region 8 champs, and getting that win in the dramatic fashion that you did. I remember you saying on our scoreboard show that you told the team, even though, look, we're behind 10 points right now, but I really like where we are because I think it's going to be kind of a gut check moment, and it certainly was for your players.
It was. I learned a long time ago that as a coach, I think I fear the after effects of success more than a loss. And so I've always tried to make sure that we come in as coaches, refocusing the staff after a win, refocusing the team after a win. And then after a game like that, you really feel like you got to understand how the guys are going to respond. And one of the beautiful things to build on in this last game was, if you look at time of possession, they had 11 more minutes with the football, but that was because we had some great returns had a touchdown by Isaiah Shingleton, had a fumble recovery and return by Bryce Cumberlander, and defense putting our offense in a position with short fields to get back in that game quickly. So, it was just a total team effort for us to come back. And so it was a lot to build on, a lot to reference as a coach and talk about why we came back, and obviously focus on how we got in the hole. But the guys we have, I really love our team. I think they're very mature, and they know what we did Friday, and it was a result of hard work and trusting adjustments, and we got to keep that level of focus if we're going to continue to compete at that level.
Coach, you find out a lot about your team in week one in the win against East Limestone, and I am sure some different challenges arose from that one. But last week was a region game, a whole new different set of adversity things that you guys had to figure out, and you guys had to learn, you had to watch, and you had to grow. How much did you see your team grow, though, from week one to week two, especially on the road last week?
Tremendously. For 4 years, we've had Brandon Mush. We've had the Lone Ranger, man. He's just going to come riding in and take over the game. And as players and as coaches, sometimes that's in the back of your mind is, if we get in a hole, Brandon's going to make a spectacular play. And like that 4th and 12 or so against Deschler last year in the playoffs, where just got hit by everybody in the stadium, but still got the first down. And so not having that guy right now on the roster, and then putting together what we did was really special, and showed a lot of maturity, showed a lot of trust. I think my favorite part of the game was at halftime. I send the players in the locker room. I meet with the coaches briefly, and then I run into the locker room where the players are and want to talk to them before the coaches talk to them while they're working on scheme and adjustments. And when I opened up the door to the locker room, I heard the players saying some of the very things that I was going to say to them, and talking about trust and believing that we're still in this game and the game plan that we have for them. We just have to execute. And so hearing the guys say that, I got to just go in and echo what they were doing and build on what they had already been talking about amongst themselves. So as a coach, it just makes you proud. You see the level of maturity you're dealing with, and gives you, I guess, a great outlook for what's next and what we could possibly handle in the future.
Well, and I want to piggyback off what you just said about Brandon Mush, but they were his replacement's Houston Scott, and I know you were very excited about him. He's a different style of quarterback, big, tall pocket passer, but considering this was his first road start, Coach, 13 of 20, 114, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. He managed the game pretty well.
He managed the game really well, and just responded to adversity. He's so quiet, and but he's just got this confidence about him, and he just looks at you and nods his head and yes sir, and when you got the ball with 1:48 left and one timeout, you got to go not quite the length of the field, but we got to get down there. And Houston, for his first time to do it, it was a hostile environment, and he did it, and it was a thing of beauty, and something I know he'll relive over and over again. But I pray that it continues to give him confidence for what's next.
In looking at the stats, though, this had to be a hard game because neither Westminster or Plainview had a lot. It says a lot about your defense, though, too. Tough time converting on third downs.
It was. They had some athletes, that maybe weren't on film last year and making some plays, and then the adjustments that Coach Sloan made for us defensively in the second half proved to be the difference in the game. And it was just one of those games where it's just cool to see the kids competing like that, and guys getting up and going back and doing it again. And I told the team I almost felt like the Rocky Balboa of high school football, just coming out there and taking the opponent's best shot, staying in the fight, making adjustments, and letting maybe our conditioning and our preparation outlast an opponent, and guys just kind of, I guess, taking up that mantra.
Well, I'll quote one of the movies, Coach. No pain. And that's what that's what it's about. And just keep punching and keep coming back. And special teams, you already mentioned it kind of in the opening of our conversation, but in a 37-33 ball game, when you get 7 points from Carson Tinsley and then Isaiah Singleton takes one to the house, the kicking game was key in this one.
Yeah, it was huge. They early in the first quarter or first half, they kicked the ball that we muffed and turned over to them on our kickoff return. And so Caleb Hooks, my defensive line coach, he runs the kickoff return team, and he made an adjustment, moved Isaiah Singleton there. They kicked it right to him and took it right to the house. And it was just awesome, And then, then they kicked it to him at the end of the game after they scored to go up, and he was close to breaking that one. And he's a really dynamic player, but we put a lot of emphasis on special teams here. I try to assign a special team to each member of the staff and get those guys involved and get a lot of people looking at the film and seeing what we can do with our personnel. And so special teams got to be something that is an edge for us, not a time off. And I think guys have really displayed that in the last several years, and especially this last game.
Did you let Evan McClure have an ice bath, or did you give him the day off after 25 carries? I mean, he had 148 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 25 carries in a hard-hitting ball game, Coach. He had to be a little sore.
He definitely was sore, but his voice was one of the main ones I heard when I walked in that locker room at halftime. And Evan is a fierce competitor. He's a guy that has a quiet confidence. He knows what he's capable of doing. He puts in the work to have that confidence. And so, that's again, one of the reasons why he's at the position he's at. We moved him from defensive end. He even got in a little bit on defensive end and made a couple of tackles. And so he is a great competitor. He's a 3-sport guy. He knows how to work. He's not allergic to work. And so those 25 carries, I know he got hit, but and the guy is he's just tough, and that's what made us excited about moving him there.
And Coach, talk about the road trip to JP2. I know it's another spirited rivalry. Coach Crean's taking over there. It's been you've had some tough games with those guys. And then again, you're trying to stay focused and take it one game at a time. This is a larger region than others around the state. So you really only have 2 out-of-region games. So every game really is important on this schedule. And I know you'd like to clean up the turnovers a little bit. Certainly your passing game was sharp, didn't turn it over. But I know both sides at both Plainview and you guys at Westminster had some issues with fumbles. But what have you been kind of emphasizing in practice, and what are your thoughts on JP2?
Well, obviously ball security, and having a guy play running back for the first time ever, that's obviously an issue. I mean, when his instincts kick in to take on a tackler, it's how am I going to fend this guy off? Not necessarily how am I going to fend him off and take care of that ball. So the deeper we go in the season, the better we're going to get at that. And then obviously Houston had a fumble, but we were able to get it back. And Houston, first time really having to carry the load like that. A lot of times when he got in the game last year, we were up and we were handing it off, and we weren't really having to make him run and or pass and get flushed out of the pocket. So ball security drills all week, emphasizing it over and over and over again. A lot of eyes on the guys in practice and critiquing every aspect of what they're doing and constant reminders. And then for JP2, I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Crehan. He's a great coach. You can tell the guys are working through what they've been coached to do. A lot of respect for St. John Paul. We have had some tough games with them. Those kids are also great competitors. You know what you're going to get when you go over there. And so, Coach Crehan and his family's experience in coaching, he's going to have a great plan for us. And we're going to have a great plan for him. And this is what it's all about, with teams that are in the same town. You expect to have some great games and a lot riding on the game, and you really couldn't ask for anything better than this. This is what we practice for. This is why we do it, and this is what people talk about after you do it. And so I'm excited and looking forward to kick off tonight.
Was the message at all this week about, hey, what we did last week was great, but now we got to follow that up this week with another great performance so that last week's game, big win in Plainview, actually can mean something at the end of the season?
Of course. I mean, and I hope you guys don't get bored with me saying this, but I mean, we really believe it. I mean, we've for years now talked about, winning the moment and what's important now. And that's something that we adhere to strictly around here. We try to really make sure that what we're talking about is in that line of thought, that we're not looking ahead. There's no reason to look ahead. We do our best no matter what. And I shared Philippians 3:13 through 14 with the team, and it just says, I forget what's behind me, and I strain on what's ahead and press forward for what's ahead. And I said, guys, if there was ever a better verse for a football team, I don't know what it would have been. That we cannot think about the success of the past or the failures of the past. Even when it comes to a game, play one is dead. We're on to play two. We're moving on. And just like Coach Saban would always say, that every play has a life unto itself. And we literally have to live that. And so the guys, I believe, have been conditioned from the weight room to the field that's how they do it. And they pick that up and run with it. And I think that makes those adjustments even easier to make, because the foundation's already been laid and their mind is set for that.
And Coach, before we let you go, it'd be remiss because you just brought him up. You worked on his first staff, 17 years ago. He's now retired on College game day, but he's going to have the field dedicated to him this Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's going to be at Saban Field or at Nick Saban Field, however you want to say it. But how surreal is that you had a chance to work for him and work for maybe the greatest to ever do it, and now he will have his name on the field at Bryant-Denny Stadium for the rest of his life?
Oh, Drew, man, I tell you, I look back and I see how God has just kind of ordered my steps. And, if you had told me growing up that I was going to even get to be a part of the team at the University of Alabama in any capacity, I would have thought you were crazy. And then, but getting to be a graduate assistant coach and then going through the transition of everybody that I worked for under Shula's staff, basically getting fired and by Saban, and then just praying that I wasn't going to get let go. And, when he got hired, my wife was pregnant with our first son, and I was just terrified, like, what's going to happen, and then just to have the opportunity to work for him for a year and learn from him and sit with him and listen and take notes. I'm excited for him to have the honor of the field being named after him. It's something that obviously will last for, decades and decades of people talking about this and remembering what he's done there. And it couldn't happen to a better man. He's always been so good to me, and just really, really happy for him and thankful that I had the opportunity to be there at the very beginning when, the process was being built, and to see the work that went into it, that, the focus that he had, and man, the guy was just, man, obviously a phenomenal coach, and I couldn't have asked for, a better opportunity for me as I left there to go get my first full-time coaching job in college at the University of West Georgia. Just having that experience, and I still draw on that experience and get reminded of, just how things are done, and everybody has their own different way of doing things, but the bare bones of what you're doing, the focus, the attention to detail, and keeping the main thing. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guy to learn that from. So yeah, special time in Tuscaloosa. I wish I could be there and see it and in person, but it'll be a special time for sure.
Well, it's a great time tonight, 7:00 over at JP2, and it'll be on Zone 5. Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats against the JP2 Falcons, trying to go to 3-0 and 2-0 in 4A Region 8. And yes, from now going forward to the end of time, it will be Bryant-Denny Stadium at Nick Saban Field. And Coach Louis LeBlanc was a part of that, and he was a part of our show this morning. Thank you, Coach. We always appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you guys. Man, you guys are awesome.
Thanks. Let's get a break in. We're going to wrap up hour one from Metro Diner along Highway 72 coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
A couple of wrecks showing on the board this morning. 36 in Puckett Road in Hartselle. That one, from the sound of it, ended up being a no injury. And had one in Decatur, 24 and Old 24. They canceled EMS on that one as well. We got one on 69 about mile marker 267. That's about 4th Street in Arad. That one may be causing some problems. Have you tried numerous weight loss plans and nothing seems to work? Your hormones could be the problem. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
It's the dawning of a new age in Tuscaloosa.
I understand what Alabama football is all about. Roll Tide.
Join the Crimson Tide as the Kalen DuBois era begins. Touchdown! Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide welcome the USF Bulls to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 3 on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Raise your hand if you have Vanderbilt going 2-0 to start the year.
Nope. I don't think a lot of people did, man.
Well, Clark Lee, he was happy with how things unfolded with the student section last Saturday against Virginia Tech. Here's Coach Lee with a message this week to the Vanderbilt students.
Uh-oh.
To all our Vanderbilt students that showed up in support of our football team last Saturday against Virginia Tech, I want to personally thank you. It meant the world to me and our team looking up and seeing that student section full the entire game. That's the kind of effort that's going to deliver more wins. Now I'm going to ask you to show up again this Saturday as we take on Alcorn State. Let's make it a tradition that student section's full for the entire game from start to finish. This is a football school, and you're going to help us to keep delivering those victories. Thank you, and anchor down.
There you go.
All our Vanderbilt students.
A football school.
Uh-oh. Diego Pavia for president.
Oh, man.
Jerry Kill.
Man, if he has another good game, if Diego Pavia has another good game for Vanderbilt on Saturday, and you would think he would against Alcorn State, you would think Vanderbilt should move to 2-0 on the year. Now, they're not going to crack the top 25, not saying they're going to be in contention, but if they get Georgia State after that, it's not unthinkable that Vanderbilt could start the year 3-0. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but they could start the year 3-0. And then on the 21st of September, they travel to Missouri for actually they travel to Georgia State next week. It's at Georgia State, by the way. And then they travel to Missouri. So if Vanderbilt could be 3-0, they could head into Missouri undefeated for their conference opener.
Yeah, they could. It'd be crazy. I mean, we're going to have to talk with Chris Lee about this because, I mean, I'm very impressed with what they've done and the way they responded. I always talk about that. It's about, I know we kept all off season talking about, Alabama lost, Caleb Downs. Alabama lost Isaiah Bond. Right. Alabama lost, Amari Knoblack. But it's how you respond. And Vanderbilt lost a ton of guys, lost, a ton of skilled people on offense, and led by Will Shepard. And it's just the way you respond. They lost their QB, but they But they went out, got Jerry Kill, who's one of the more underrated coaches in college football, to be basically their assistant head coach and direct the offense. Then you get Diego Pavia, who was basically Conference USA Player of the Year.
He was, yeah.
And then he's made a huge impact so far. It's one game, but look, they were, I want to say, a double-digit home underdog to Virginia Tech. Sorry. But yeah, but I mean, it was a huge win for Vanderbilt. It was a huge win for the SEC, especially considering Florida laid a turd.
Yes.
And then Texas A&M still getting the dirt neck out of them.
And LSU got beat by USC. Yeah, no, you're right.
So
but I'll say this, though, too.
The SEC.
Lots of times when a kid leaves a school in the transfer portal, now, percentage-wise, I don't know the percentage, but sometimes it's because they didn't get enough NIL at one school and they want to get more. Okay, they want more money. Maybe that was Caleb Downs' rationale for going to Ohio State. I don't know. But there's lots of times, too, when a kid leaves a program, goes into the transfer portal, there may be reasons where, number one, he wants more playing time, or number two, maybe he was kind of, hey, maybe you need to go to a new school. Maybe in the locker room he wasn't a good fit. Maybe he wasn't quite the teammate that everybody thought he was in that locker room, and there's a reason why he's in the portal. Not just because, and in Vanderbilt's case, maybe they weren't buying into Clark Lee all the way. Not everybody, but maybe a few of them weren't, and they were moved out. So, all right. We got to talk more high school football. When we return, it's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, live from Metro Diner. Jimmy Gay up next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
He'll gain only a half yard, and now second effort. Did they blow it? They did not! They did not! They couldn't bring down Pacheco!
The NFL season is officially underway. The action courtesy of the Chiefs Radio Network in Thursday night's season opening 27-20 win over the Ravens. Last night's game, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes, 20 of 28 passing for 291 yards with a touchdown, 1 interception. Kansas City was favored by 2.5. The over was 47. Tonight in San Paulo, Brazil, the Eagles and Packers battle. Philadelphia by 2.5. Green Bay plus 110. The over-under 49.5. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. We are live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. Of course, hour 2 helping us get it underway is SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They're dedicated to providing care that improves lives. You can get a hold of SportsMed, 256-881-5151. You can experience that SportsMed difference. They're dedicated to providing care that improves lives. the official training providers for the Rocket City Trash Pandas, as well as the UAH Chargers, both of which you can hear right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Talk Radio 97.7 or Talk Radio WZZM. Talk Radio WZZN is also where you're going to be able to hear the Crimson Panthers tonight. The Huntsville Crimson Panthers taking on the Grissom Tigers over at Milton Frank Stadium, the city's biggest rivalry when it comes to football.
Yeah, it really is. It should be a raucous crowd over at Milton Frank Stadium. It was a good crowd last week on the Huntsville Crimson Panthers. Really, I thought played well and put together 4 good quarters against the Mae Jemison Jaguars, who are very talented. Feature some outstanding prospects on their ball club, but Huntsville wins it 36-6. Just dominated the football game from the opening kickoff and built a 21-0 lead at the end of the first quarter and just really dominated the game the way Jimmy Gay would want to, and that's at the line of scrimmage. And that'll be another key for tonight. And they took some steps forward. Defensively, they've been really good the first 2 weeks. The kicking game has been very solid. Offensively, they made some progress, and I know he hopes that continues tonight. And he's been kind enough to join us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott this morning. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm hanging in there. It's game day.
It is. I know you got the game face on, and you've been here now since March, and I know you're good friends now with Greg Patterson and a lot of people around it. Yeah,
have you been told?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, how many times have you been told this is the big one, Coach?
Oh, that's right. Well, you got to be able to whoop people in your own backyard.
Yeah, you really do. It's a big rivalry, Coach, and I know there's a lot of enthusiasm around the school, and let's look back to last week a little bit, though. I know you came in, you were very impressed with Mae Jemison's athleticism and size, and you were worried about the line of scrimmage a little bit, but I thought your team responded on both sides of the ball very well.
Yeah, I believe we're making steps in the right direction. We're still, some procedural stuff on offense and still making a lot of mistakes where we shouldn't. But, defense has improved. I thought the kicking game was huge. We was able to drive the ball a little bit, punt it, pin them deep, and, it was a field position first half. I thought that helped us out a whole lot. We played on a short field for the first half and was able to score off of it.
Coach, how far have you seen this team come in 2 games this season? I know you're not a finished product yet. No, I don't think there's any team out there that is. But how far have you seen this team come in 2 games?
Oh, I think they made, we played in that fall jamboree. I think that was a big help. It opened their eyes up a little bit about some of the things that we were doing. But we've made improvements each week in all 3 phases of the game. And I think that's, of course, as a coach, you want it to be perfect, but it's never going to be that way. But we have made improvements in all 3 phases of the game, and we get a little bit better each week. And I think they're starting to understand what we want out of them.
Coach, I know your football team, you're playing 2 quarterbacks right now, but I thought both young men made strides last week. I know there was a touchdown called back that I thought was still a very well executed play. It was, of course, quarterback Wyatt Smith to your big tight end who got loose down the sideline, and I thought it was a very well blocked play. Jack Gray got down the sideline. Would have been a touchdown. I know it was called back, but I thought Wyatt took some steps forward, and then later in the second half, you insert Will Carter, and I thought he threw the ball well. He gives you the mobility option as well as an extra runner. I thought both quarterbacks made some progress, Coach.
They did. And we've got a long ways to go to get where we need to be. But, both of them brings different things to the game. Wyatt, he's a little bit taller, able to see down the field a little bit better right now. Will, he'll throw one up in a heartbeat, but what he brings is that you got a package for him where he can run the ball and he can also throw it, which he made a real good throw to Lawson Neighbors. Completed. I thought he made a real good decision on that, but both of them they're great kids, but they bring different things to the table.
And then I know offensively you want even more balance, but your offensive line I thought set the tone early in the game. We know Jackson Spencer has done a really nice job running the football for you. Once again, had another big football game. He was able to get over 100 yards yet again. He sets the tone for you physically, along with your offensive line as a whole. I thought that was the key to getting off to a really good start. Was you guys had great field position due to special teams, and then your football team did a nice job running the ball early to kind of set the tone.
Yeah, I thought Michael Price, our big left tackle, I thought he made tremendous improvements from the Hazel Green game. Played a little more physical. Matter of fact, we choose offense and defensive player of the week, as a team. And our center, Hugh Cook, he won the offensive player of the week. He graded out a winner, did a real good job, didn't have any missed assignments. And that's the big thing is that, we concentrate on playing good, sound, fundamental football, coming off the ball, and eliminating our mistakes. We don't want to have any missed assignments. That's a coaching error right there. And so, we try to emphasize that. But I thought, they all made steps in the right direction, but I've seen a lot of improvement out of Michael Price. And he should. He's a big kid. I think he's a kid that can play at the next level if he'll do what he's supposed to do.
Well, Coach, next to homecoming, tonight's game is probably one of the hardest games to get everybody's attention and keep it all on the same page all week because it's a lot of excitement. It's a rivalry game. It's Grissom is the biggest rival. How has practice gone this week? How have you been able to keep the kids focused on the task at hand and not look ahead to just Friday night and the football game?
This is the biggest game. Well, this is our biggest game. And it's not because it's Grissom, because it's our next game. And, we've got to develop that type of mentality. It doesn't matter who we play. That is our biggest game. We don't look ahead. We take 1 week at a time. We take 1 day at a time. And, it's tough being a kid and all this social media and, all that crazy stuff out there. But I think they've responded pretty well. I think Monday and Tuesday we really didn't practice up to the standards that we wanted to. But they buckled down on Wednesday and Thursday, put in two good days of work. I'm interested in seeing how it's going to pan out this 7 o'clock tonight.
And it's also big, Coach, because it's your first 7A Region 4 game. You've handled 2 out-of-region contests. Both with the and played well. You got the opening win over Hazel Green on the road, the shutout. Then your defense gets really a shutout against Mae Jemison. They scored a late touchdown defensively, did the Jaguars. But you've gotten off to a 2-0 start. But you've been a part of region championship teams and certainly state championship teams. And that first region game, getting off to a 1-0 start is very, very important.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's a lot easier to correct mistakes when you win. I'd rather do that than correct mistakes when you lose. But, we've just got to develop a mentality, every Friday night. That's the biggest game. That's our biggest game. And just like you said, this is to play to see if we can get go for the state playoffs. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to be in the state playoffs. And this is one game that we've got to need to take care of to secure our future down the road after the regular season.
Well, Coach, you look at Grissom on film. What kind of stands out to you there? How do you, not giving away everything, not the game plan, not all that, but what stands out to you on the film when you watch Grissom?
I think they got some real good skill players on offense. Defense, they fly around the ball. It's really hard to say. They've only played 1 game, and they played Lee. And they look like $1 million against Lee. They look good on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a great game tonight. We're just going to have to be ready and take care of the little things and hope the ball bounces our direction.
Well, Coach, and I know you want to take care of the little things, but I know you've been doing this a long time, and your special teams coach is new to the staff. We talked about Charlie Wilburn, and you talked about the impact that he's made, and you've really been excited about it, but you recruited a punter off the soccer team, and Jack Maservi. Have you ever had a punter make 3 tackles?
No, I haven't. And listen, Jack Maservi's a great kid. I mean, he's, class president, very smart. And listen, he is all in. I mean, we could ask him to do anything and he would do it. And, you got to love coaching a player like that. I mean, if we can get everybody on the Jack Maservi page, we would be a whole lot better team. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he'll turn his body loose too. He just does a great job. He does. And I hope he keeps developing.
Well, Coach, as we are wrapping it up with you, this is Coach Jimmy Gay, the head football coach of the Huntsville Crimson Panthers in his first season. They are 2-0. They will play over at Milton Frank Stadium tonight on WZZN Talk Radio 97.7-2. It'll be myself and Michael Seal on the call on our stream. But you're going to be – this is the 7A Region 4 opener. What's going to be the keys? I know you have limited film. You talked about that with Coach Richard Dutton and the Grissom Tigers. But what's going to be the keys tonight to getting a win and hopefully moving on to 3-0 and 1-0 in the region?
I tell you this every week, but, the keys to victory for us on every game. We're going to have to swarm the ball on defense. Offense, you're going to have to take care of the ball, take the war to them. You got to be solid in the kicking game. And play hard for 48 minutes. I mean, that's the key. Eliminate the stupid penalties and take care of the football.
And we are looking forward to that, no doubt about it. It's been a great start for Huntsville High in this new era of Crimson Panther football. They have been very good along the line of scrimmage and in the kicking game and playing football the way Coach Jimmy Gay wants to. Well, Coach, we always appreciate the time. We look forward to tonight and this huge rivalry that we're going to be able to bring the listeners. And, of course, go Big Red. Thank you for the few minutes.
Hey, I appreciate all you do. Go Big Red.
Thanks, Jimmy Gay, Huntsville High head coach, kind enough to join us ahead of tonight's showdown, Grissom and Huntsville Milton Frank Stadium. That is just one of the many games coming up. Now, don't forget, over at Madison City School Stadium tonight, you get the 13th edition. Hard to believe, 13th edition already of the Madison City Bowl between James Clemens and
it's turned into
Bob
a big
Jones.
rivalry because Bob Jones dominated early.
Yes.
Kevin Rose was there, and James Clemens' program was established. But now 5 of the last 6 have been won by the Jets. It's 7-5 right now going into this huge game tonight.
And both of them come in feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
Bob Jones
undefeated.
with some really good wins to start the year.
Coleman and then Lee.
Yep, and then James Clemens with a Gardendale win.
Really good opening win, but then they had a week off for this game.
Same thing. So that is Grissom. That same thing as Grissom. Yeah, took that bye week early before their rivalry game. Now they'll finish the rest of the season. Don't forget, you can download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app, and you can listen to all kinds of games coming up on Zone 2 tonight. Madison Academy. They had their 26-game region win streak snapped last week by the hands of Randolph. They're going to travel to DAR tonight. Picture a setting up there. I mean, good night. Oh, my goodness. So beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful. And hopefully the weather will be beautiful up there for Steve Moulton and company, but that'll be on Zone 2. Then on Zone 3, Randolph going to try backing up that big win last week against Madison Academy. They've got Plainview coming to town tonight. Not going to get any easier for our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week, the Randolph Raiders. That one's going to be a dog and a cat fight there.
And they should have Graham Beatty back, so that should help them. And Graham's such a big part of their football team. And we know Plainview thinks they let one get away last week against Lee LeBlanc and Westminster. That should be a good football game.
I think so.
And, I mean, it's going to be big for Randolph to trying to get off because they're trying to make history. They're trying to win their first, 4A Region 8 title. They finished second 3 times. So they really want to win this, football game and continue to climb because their only other non-region game is pretty tough. They're playing the number 1 2A team in the state, Pisgah, who's already beat somebody named Fife. Yeah. But that's not going to be an easy contest. But you're wanting to continue to stay unbeaten in region play. And this is going to be a huge opportunity over at Sports Medfield, another picturesque setting over there for Randolph.
And then our 2 weeks ago, our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week, the Austin Black Bears, they're going to be at home tonight. They're going to be taking on Sparkman. The Senators need to try to get something going. 97.7 ESPN The Zone 4, that'll be there. Sparkman kind of needs to get that ball. Yeah, that needs to get the ball rolling downhill instead of trying to push it uphill.
Yeah, this is big because let's not misunderstand something too, though. This is the first region game for Sparkman. They had two very tough opponents. They played on the road against Spain Park, who's already 2-0. They beat Hoover after beating Sparkman. And then last week, a newly 7A team who's had a lot of success in 6A, the Hillcrest Patriots out of Tuscaloosa. Two very tough opponents for Sparkman as they head to an Austin team that's 2-0 after routing their rival Decatur last week.
Yeah, and then they opened up their season with a double overtime win over Hartselle, stopping a 2-point conversion in the end zone to get that win. So then, and we also been mentioned 97.7 ESPN The Zone 5. You're going to get Westminster Christian Academy. We've already previewed that one with head coach Louis LeBlanc. They're going to take on JP2 Catholic. And then we talked Huntsville High on Talk Radio WCZM. So that leaves us with just one more game, and that is the Madison Academy game. We'll preview that one with our good friend Bob Gotze coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Let's get a break in. When we come back, 256-576-4977. You can get in on the Metro Diner Pick Contest. Plus, we'll talk more college football coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a couple of backups to watch out for. Northbound on the Parkway, right at the ramp to go westbound on 565. That one looks like it may have been a stall. And we got a problem eastbound on 565, right at the Parkway. That traffic's backing up. They've called for the ASAP truck to help there. Picked up a wreck on Seegers Road, right in front of the fire department. That one's coming in as a no injury. With more than 30 years experience, D&L Refrigeration can save you money on those heating and air conditioning repairs. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
You need a lawyer and pick up the phone. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. When you call for a lawyer, where does that phone ring? It might be in a call center somewhere, maybe 100 miles away, but my phone rings in my office.
The Lackey Law Firm.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. My phone rings in my office too.
So does mine. I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. And when you've been hurt and need help, we're here. We're the ones who take your call.
And get what you deserve.
You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And this is the most important part. We'll treat you like family because that's exactly what we are.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show, presented by Lawler's Barbecue.
The tackle. Williams, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 2 electric early
on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, welcome back. 8:22 on a Friday morning. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. 38 minutes away from breakfast. Counting it down. Started 2 hours, and now I'm down to 38 minutes.
Down since last night.
Down to 38 minutes until breakfast.
Oh, Lord.
Western omelet, no salsa, crispy hash browns, and 2 pancakes on the same plate.
There we go.
That will be breakfast for today. Anyway, 256-576-4977. Now's a good time to rejoin the program if you would like. Coming up on Saturday, coming up tomorrow, we've already previewed it. Alabama and South Florida. That'll get underway here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. If you're looking at the rest of the SEC, don't forget tomorrow morning at 11, Texas and Michigan, 3 versus 10. 7-point favorite Longhorns in Ann Arbor for that one. Then at 11 a.m. also, you're going to get Oklahoma State and Arkansas. The Cowboys, 7.5-point favorite over the Hogs there in Stillwater. Still think that one is a mystery game. I am still kind of perplexed on that one a little bit. Kentucky and South Carolina. Kentucky now 8.5-point favorite over South Carolina. And then I'm just looking at the big ones. NC State and Tennessee. Tennessee a 10-point favorite in Charlotte. Neutral site game over NC State.
Yeah, Grayson McCall, the quarterback from Coastal Carolina, taking over for Dave Dorn and the Wolf Pack. And certainly this will be a much more difficult opponent for Tennessee. But the Vols played very, very well against Chattanooga. And Nico Iamaleava set a school record for passing yards in the first half. Really didn't need anything, and he didn't play in the second half. And so we'll see what he does against a Power 4 opponent. But the expectations are very, very high. And, Urban Meyer already has him winning the the Heisman Trophy at some point in time. I don't know about a national championship. We'll see. Sure hope not. But, but certainly Nico Iamaleava is a special talent.
All right, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, our good friend John Summerall will take his Tulane Green Wave and entertain Kansas State tomorrow night. Tomorrow in Lawrence.
Over there in New Orleans. There.
Kansas State is a 9-point favorite on the road over Tulane.
A little bit of a sneaky one right there.
Could be.
I might be taking the Green Wave there.
I think this is this John's first game against a ranked opponent ever?
No,
Don't
forget his first game at Troy. They were playing Ole Miss, and
that's true. That's right.
Yeah.
He did face Ole Miss.
They played them very tough. And then we all know Troy went on to win the Sun Belt Conference and win, I believe, 12 football games, and John won 23 games, I think, in 2 years at Troy. So
yeah, I forgot that he had a one at Troy.
Yeah.
All right, so good luck to our good friend and Grissom grad, John Summerall.
So he'd be on the other side of the rivalry tonight. That's fine. Understand.
He would be.
He played on some of the greatest teams in Grissom history.
He did. Yes. He did.
Some dark days for the Panthers.
My Iowa Hawkeyes were a 3-point home favorite against Iowa State tomorrow. So hopefully Iowa can get it done. Jack State, who earlier in the week, Rich Rodriguez said,
wants $2 million by Alabama.
Yeah, he would take $2 million to go get whooped by Alabama if he could get $2 million. They're on the road. Now, look, we talk a lot about the ACC, and the ACC is just kind of like, hum right now. Miami is, we think, the torchbearer for the league. Rich Rodriguez thinks it's Louisville 22nd ranked Louisville. That is where Jack State is at this Saturday.
Right.
27.5-point dogs are Jack State. But Rich Rodriguez is putting all of his thing. He thinks Louisville right now is the best team in the ACC.
Well, maybe they are. I mean, there's no question that Jeff Brom is kind of a perfect fit there. And hell, the ACC has had it rough.
That's what I'm saying.
I would think it'd be Miami, but we've talked about Mario and his sometimes
ineptitude sometimes to come
success.
Through. Yep.
So we'll see if he can continue to manage their team well after they routed Florida. But a lot of people like that Louisville team and think they're kind of flying under the radar. And he's an alum. He was on some of the best teams in Cardinal history, and they've had good runs before under Bobby Petrino. But we'll see. I think this is a tough matchup for Jacksonville State going on.
Oh, it is.
And playing against Louisville.
It is. And then meanwhile, over at Brawley Stadium on Saturday.
Need to get a dub.
No, it's not going to be easy.
No, Illinois State.
Illinois State, who just got beat by Iowa last week, made our offense look good. Did Illinois State. Thank you. All it took is a Missouri Valley Conference team to make our offense look good. Anyway, they will be kicking off over there at Brawley Stadium, and
first home game for UNA this year.
They need a win. I mean, 2 straight losses to open the year. Now, last week they were facing a very talented Memphis team, who many think could be the group of 4 team or whatever they want to call it.
Well, they're playing Florida State this weekend, so look out.
Yeah,
Florida State.
If
they lose another, and it's going to be DEFCON 5. War Chant TV will not be a pretty sight if the Memphis Tigers beat the Seminoles. And remember, that's Mike Norvell's old stomping grounds.
I'll say that. Okay,
he came from. Yeah.
Let's say Florida State does get a win.
Yeah.
Let's say Florida State only gets like a 7-point win against Memphis.
Just take it. You need a dub.
Do you take it, or do you still question your program?
No, you take a win, especially with everybody talking up Memphis and how they could be a college football playoff contender. I believe that's a road game, is it not?
For Florida State?
I thought they were traveling to Memphis for some odd reason.
Well, the Liberty Bowl is under.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Renovations and stuff, so I don't know
about that.
If they would travel there. That game is actually my bad. Florida State is off this week.
Oh,
Florida State is off. Florida State has a bye this week, so they're not going to win or lose. So that's good news for them.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were playing Memphis, but I'm like you. I guess I was thinking that it was still this week, but they get the chance to lick their wounds, and then next week they will be heading. And it will be in Tallahassee. It'll be an 11 a.m. kickoff. So Memphis, as you said, Liberty Bowl under renovations. 11 a.m. on ESPN. But the Memphis Tigers, who were already 1-0, like we said, it's going to be next week, and that'll be again Memphis, the former employer of Mike Norvell. So the Seminoles licking their wounds, trying to get back, and get into the win column. It's been a very, very tough beginning for them, but a tough beginning for the ACC. So certainly. The league needs Louisville to hold serve against Jacksonville State. We'll see if they can do that. And they need the Miami Hurricanes to continue to perform well and under Mario Cristobal as they continue to, rise up the rankings.
All right, we got to get a break in. When we come back, I'm 30 minutes away from eating breakfast, and we are moments away from Madison Academy head coach Bob Godsey joining the program as we look forward to tonight's Madison Academy DAR contest, a road trip for the Mustangs, their first time away from Bill Washington Stadium this season. We'll preview it with the coach next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly to mostly cloudy sky through a good majority of the afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. Maybe a rogue shower across the Tennessee Valley, but just like the last several days, most of us are probably going to end up staying dry. We drop into the mid-60s as we head into the overnight. The weekend looks absolutely fantastic. We're talking about a mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures only climbing into the low 80s. No rain. Oh, and by the way, it's not going to be humid. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a single vehicle accident, Seegers Road, right in front of the fire department. It's coming in as a no injury. That's our only working accident now. Had problems northbound on the Parkway and eastbound on 565. I think there was a stalled vehicle causing both of those. Both areas seem to be moving. No hose, no mask. You can ask Dr. Sandman, that's Dr. Sandlin, for the medically proven benefits of the Somnodent for sleep apnea and for snoring. Dr. Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Neck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
All right, big thank you to SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center helping us bring you some Madison Academy football preview here. Their head coach, of course, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They are the official training providers for Madison Academy. So helping out the Mustangs each and every Friday night during the school year, as well as the basketball, baseball, softball, track field, all the sports there at Madison Academy is SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. The Mustangs traveling on the road for the first time. You learn a lot about your team in your first 2 games, but I think you can learn even more about a team when you go on the road.
Yeah, you can, but you also know that they've been here before. Just 2 short years ago in the 2022 season, they opened with 2 losses to very good football teams, and that was the Dessler Tigers and then the Randolph Raiders, and then they ripped off 9 wins in a row in reaching the second round of the state playoffs and setting the stage for a team last year that was really an amazing football team that reached the 3A state championship game. But we're talking now to 6th-year head football coach of the Madison Academy Mustangs, Bob Godsey, and I know he's looking forward to his team bouncing back after a very, very tough emotional game against Randolph. They fought. They came back from a double-digit deficit to nearly win this football game. But I know they're anxious to get back to work. And as always, they're still in the 4A Region 8 race. We know that. But again, a big game, big opportunity tonight to get better. And we're going to talk to Bob Godsey about that for a few minutes here on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach Godsey, you're with Drew and Scott. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
We're doing pretty good. And, Coach, how is your team doing? Because, I mean, it's a big rivalry with Randolph. It's a backyard rivalry. It's been a great series that you guys, even as when you weren't in the same region, continued to play. But a tough loss last week, but your team nearly comes back to get a big win. But how has the team responded in practice this week, Coach?
Well, we've probably had our best week of practice. You know, I think that's the thing about this team is they're developing some resiliency and hopefully a little bit of toughness that we didn't have, early on. And that's the situation is what it is. And we're the only ones that can change that. So we've had a good week of practice. We really have, maybe our best week overall so far. And we want to continue to grow and to get better. We did play better, especially in the second half. I played with a little more confidence, played with a little more maturity. Still, came up a play short. You go back through and look at all the what ifs. You do that all the time. So it's full speed ahead. The everything's still out in front of us. We want to be playing, better hopefully in November than we are right now, and that's the goal. We got, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how much positive do you take away from that second half where, I mean, you put yourself in a hole on the scoreboard, but you almost put yourself out of it? I mean, you almost be able to flip the script there. How much positive can you take away from that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we just need to win. I think we did a lot of positive things. I think to a man, we played better across the board. Made a few more plays, and that's probably been the biggest thing. We haven't really had a playmaker step forward right now. Whether it be sickness or injury or something like that, we're still haven't really found that groove yet. You look at there are certain things you can't do and win games against good teams and big games. You can't miss extra points, you can't not field kickoffs, you can't have turnovers, things like that. And we did all of those things and still one play away from winning the game. And so we're our guys understand that, know that we got backups in and all of those spots, but that's the way it is. You gotta step up. And so very proud of our guys, especially this week. It was a tough week again, and they answered the challenge. We got to figure out how to take that from our practice field to the game. So.
And then, Coach, I mean, it speaks highly of the culture of your team. And I know you told us last week you really like this squad and the growth potential they have. When you're down 25-7 to a good team, and then you rally, and then you believe in them enough. You went for it. You went for 2 at home to try to win the game, and it didn't turn out the way you wanted to. But obviously, when you rally the way this team does, you obviously believe in the coaching staff. There's a good culture there, and there's still a lot of football left to be played.
Oh, a lot of football, and 100% we believe in these guys. We have great kids, and people kind of want to say what they say. We have awesome kids, and they work extremely, extremely hard. And if anything, right now, the fact that we have really good kids, might be holding us back a little bit, in that we're too nice. And we're working hard. And you decide to go for 2 there to win it. Felt like that was our best option. We got a backup kicker, we got a backup snapper. We ain't been very good in those things, and felt like it was our best option to win the game was to leave our offense out there, and we didn't execute as well enough as we should have. And as a coach, you're thinking about, well, I should have called this, should have done that. I mean, it's just the way it goes. You learn from them. We're in this situation for a reason, and it's to learn and to get better. And everything that we're experiencing right now down the road, will provide positives for us. All these situations, provided that we learn from them. That's the big key. That all these situations that we're experiencing right now, all the emotions that we're experiencing right now, will provide, positive, things for us down the road.
Well, Coach, now it does get a little tougher. I mean, the fortunate thing is you've been at home the last 2 weeks. Now you got to go on the road and take everything that you've learned and this team has learned and the guys have learned. Now you got to pack it all up and try to win a road region game, which are never easy no matter who you're playing.
Correct. You're 100% on that. So, I feel like we've done everything we can to prepare for that. Number one, we went all over the state last year playing, so most of our guys understand that part of it. This summer, with some of the OTAs and stuff like that, we always make sure that we get on the bus 2 or 3 times there, with this particular team for them to kind of get that feel of going somewhere to compete against another team and there. We're going to DAR, probably half our team, if maybe even more, have never been there. So it's new place, new surroundings. But, just like I told them in practice, that field's going to be 120 yards, and it's going to have 2 goalposts on the end of it. There'll be a scoreboard there somewhere, and probably have Coke or Pepsi on it. So we'll kick it off and get going.
Well, and Coach, I know you do have some kids left over, a few that should be leaders for you that went through the 0-2 start a couple years ago. That team responded as well as any we've seen. They went on to win a 3A region championship and then reached the second round of the playoffs. How have they because some of them have been here before, so how have they responded as kind of leaders, knowing that, again, as you mentioned earlier in our conversation, that there's been so much there's a lot of football left to be played?
Well, as much as, as a coach or a parent or anyone, when you have a dominant class like we had last year that were excellent leaders really for 2 years, and then the class behind them really haven't had that responsibility. And even though we have some guys like AJ and Josh, guys like that played a lot of valuable snaps, been very valuable to the success that we've had around here, they're in a whole new game in terms of being, the guys, being the leaders. So they're figuring that part of it, out, as well. And, I think that was a lot more positive this week in practice, and they're getting more comfortable, with that role. They were very comfortable when things, I guess, were going kind of like they were supposed to, kind of like our whole team. But when things didn't go like they were supposed to, when we got uncomfortable, when we got behind, when things didn't go according to script, and all of those things, once again, those are growing moments. Those are opportunities, to improve and to get better. And I feel like our team has done that over these last 2 or 3 weeks. It obviously would feel a lot better if we could add a win to learning those lessons.
Well,
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
when you look at the film tonight and you go on the road, you got a DAR Patriot team. What stands out to you?
A familiar head coach.
Yep. What stands out to you on the film? And yeah, Matt Patterson, very familiar.
Matt Putnam, yes.
Yeah, Matt Putnam, very familiar to this area. What stands out?
Talking about DAR?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It looks like a Matt Putnam team. I mean, they run the same things they did at Madison County. They did back to Hazel Green years ago and things of that nature. When we have faced him before, so it looks like they're a little bit in the same boat as we are, as they have an extremely young team as well. You have that, but it looks exactly like a Matt Putnam team, and they play hard. They do the things that Matt Putnam's always done in terms of running the ball and trying to set everything up with that. So it definitely was familiar. Once again, as I've said many times on here before, a lot more concern about us doing and being where we're supposed to be, as much as understanding and knowing what the other team is doing.
And we're talking to Bob Godsey, the head football coach of the Madison Academy Mustangs. And coaches, we're wrapping up this conversation. How I know you always talk about game 1 to game 2 and then continue to get better each week. First on the pendulum, where did you see your team improve the most in their game against Randolph?
Well, I felt like we played harder, especially in the second half. That was the most concerning thing for me. And the first game was I just didn't feel like we played, to the standard in terms of just playing hard. You're gonna make the mistakes, you're gonna do those kind of things. So I think we played harder, which usually translates to the fact that even our older guys are inexperienced, but we have a lot of young guys out there that are getting comfortable in their roles, getting comfortable in what they're doing. The communication was so much better. It was even better this week in practice. So with that, you feel like they're growing and maturing. And that's the biggest thing of it all is, we got to play with confidence, and we played with more confidence, especially in the second half. A win would help with that even more. But having positive plays, doing positive things, I felt like, Alex Crowder played a lot better in the second half. He gave us a chance to win the game. Khalil Green stepped up with some, a big night, especially in the second half, with some big plays. We had a couple of guys out for injury and sickness that we get back this week, which will help tremendously, if nothing else, just in rotation and guys not having to be on the field as much. So we're probably as close to, I guess, full strength this week as we've been, all year. So hopefully all those things are, I really believe, like I said, I still like this team. It's a young team, and they're great kids, and they're working as hard as they can work. And we'll get this thing rolling, by the end of the year, and that's when we want to be playing our best.
And no doubt. And what are a couple of keys tonight that you want to see your team accomplish against DAR, Coach?
I want to see our execution go up. We executed a lot better in the second half again, last week. I just want to see our execution go up, and I want to see some playmakers start to surface. When you lose basically 100% of your offensive production, now you got guys that have to assume different roles and step forward. Same way defensively. I guess everybody thinks that AJ ought to make every single tackle on the field because he's a very, very good player. But, there are guys trying to block him too. So we got to have other guys doing their jobs. Number one, that frees him up to make plays. And number two, they got to make plays when it's their opportunity, as well. We'll be younger out there this time. We'll start a couple more freshmen. We had one out, they got beat for a touchdown last week. That's just the way it goes. Those guys are improving, they're getting better, and they're growing. And we're going to continue to put them out there and try to grow them. And so we're just looking for that growth, looking for the execution, and looking for some playmakers to start surfacing.
Well, we certainly are hoping to see a Madison Academy win tonight. It'll be Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird on the call on the road at the picturesque setting over there on the campus of DAR and the Patriots and Matt Putnam. But, Coach, we certainly are looking forward to the game tonight and looking forward to your team continuing to get better and take those steps and get in the win column. But we certainly always appreciate your time, and safe travels and good luck tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate what y'all do for high school sports.
All right, Madison Academy head coach Bob Gotze, kind enough to join us as we are live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. Going to hit the pause button one more time when we come back. Your tomorrow's headlines today.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Picked up one new accident. This one was eastbound on University at Providence, Maine. It may be with us for a couple of more minutes. Everything else from earlier appears to have smoothed out now. I don't see any snags on the Parkway northbound. It looks like 565 eastbound through the Parkway area is also running much better. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
This is Kevin Harlan from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and I will wrap up NFL Week 1 action with the Jets at the 49ers. New York awaits the return of Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, while the 49ers hope to kick off a season headed back to the Super Bowl. Join us on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Tom Luganbill here from my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tomorrow's headlines today, if you pick up AL.com tomorrow, it will be full of high school football sports. Our good friend Jimmy Lay from AL.com, as he does each and every Friday, joining us real fast to give us a rundown of what he has in store and what little AL.com has in store for tonight on the high school football scene.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, it's going to be – we're in week 3. I know this season goes by so fast, and I'll be on the call with Logan Brandis tonight at the Discovery Middle School covering the Westminster Wildcats and JP2 Falcons. Another big region game for those guys wanting to get 2-0 to start the region. But also after that, I'll be looking at number 1 ranked 5A Gunnersville playing Brewer tonight. And we'll probably be keeping a close eye on Gunnersville this season as they are the number 1 team right now in 5A. Also be looking at Randolph and Plainview, see if Randolph can just piggyback on that huge win last week over Madison Academy and playing a very tough Plainview team. And then we'll also be looking at Athens at Coleman. Athens is starting strong, but I'm going to tell you, anytime you go to Coleman, it's a tough place to play. And they are, I know Coach Gross knows that, and those guys, they should be ready, but we'll be following that. But really looking forward to see what Westminster does tonight at JP2 after such a tough, gritty come-from-behind win last week.
Yeah, it was a great win, no doubt about it. And then they got a huge win the week after, so against Randolph, so they can't look ahead.
Not at all. That's the thing Coach LeBlanc is always so good about, talking about win the moment, what's important now, that kind of thing. And so those guys probably haven't even said the word Randolph this week. And I'm sure Coach Lloyd's the same way. He's focusing on Plainview. He knows that you can't be looking ahead or you'll end up getting beat with what's right in front of you. So there's so many big games that are coming up. And as high school season moves along so fast, you just have to take it all in week by week. Enjoy it because it doesn't last. It just goes by so fast.
And I think Thomas Ashworth, is he at the Madison City Bowl tonight?
Madison Bowl tonight.
I believe so. Yeah, that's a huge one that we'll be covering, and he'll be all over that. And that could be one of the better games. We're looking forward to see how that game turns out. He'll be all over that. There's a lot of interesting things on AL.com. I don't know if you saw that interesting article by Mike Perrin about the transfer rule and how it may be sort of being changed a little bit, or it's being halted or something. But there'll be further developments in that. So, folks, if you want to know more about that, you really need to go to AL.com and find out, what's going on with that, because that could really impact not just football, but all of high school sports.
No doubt. Appreciate it, Jimmy. We look forward to the call tonight with Logan Barandis. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, guys.
All right. So high school football aplenty, college football aplenty. Did you see this story? Texas doing a little gamesmanship. I should say the fans doing some gamesmanship in Ann Arbor.
What are they doing?
So Cooper Manning, the father of Arch Manning,
that's it. Yep.
Paid a Michigan hotel to fly the Texas flags outside the Michigan hotel, and it's driving the Wolverine fan base nutty in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
They're more concerned about Texas flying the flags.
I never thought I would quote Dion so early, but I'm just saying, you're doing this stuff, and you may get this win now. You better hope you do, but people keep receipts on stuff like that when you start playing games like that. So you might have some flags burned later on. You know what I'm saying? If you get your ass whooped.
Do you think Michigan will whoop it though on Saturday, or do you going with Texas in this one?
Hadn't even signed his contract. He doesn't even trust the administration at Michigan. So I'm going to be fascinated to see how this one goes. Now, if Texas does lose this game, I just think it's a red flag. I'm not sure they're really a playoff team if they lose this game, but I think they'll take care of business. And I just think this is a rebuilding Michigan squad, but who knows? They're playing in Ann Arbor. They may surprise some people.
Wow, Jimmy Lay just sending the article.
Yeah,
to me. I haven't had a chance to see it.
I saw the headline, but
here is the first. This is the first paragraph in the article.
Yeah,
a Montgomery Circuit judge has approved a temporary restraining order that declares a Marbury High School student athlete immediately eligible to play football and prohibits the Alabama High School Athletic Association from enforcing its transfer rule.
Wow. So I guess he did make a bona fide move in the middle of the season.
I don't know, but the transfer rule as of right now, according to the state thing, is non-existent.
Well, we've seen guys transfer the last few years in the middle of a season, so it gets a little hairy. That's for sure. The high school transfer portal.
Yeah, this is going to be something that we'll have to follow next week and week after. We'll thank you, Jimmy Lay, for all of that. Hey, thank you to Metro Diner. Oh, boy, it's breakfast time. It's breakfast time.
It's Scott's favorite time of the day.
Pancakes, omelets, bring
Enjoy
it
the high
on.
school football tonight, everybody.
Yes.
And the college football this weekend.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty.